Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantathon, our quest to casually let's play through every single mainline Final Fantasy game, plus some bonuses that may or may not be Final Fantasy X-2 and Final Fantasy Tactics. Probably those two. Thank you so much for being here. We have had such an incredible week this week, and such an incredible morning this morning, and now we are all hyped and ready to get back into the in-depth playthrough of Final Fantasy VII. I did have a couple notes I wanted to talk about real quick before we get started. Just a few things that I could have explained before and didn't because we were talking about other things. First of all, Chocobo Mog, the Chocomog summon materia. For anyone that was interested, it has a 1 in 16 chance of being Fat Chocobo. If you ever wondered what the percentage was, 15 out of 16 times you get the regular Chocobo, and 1 out of 16 times you get the Fat Chocobo. Also, I wanted to talk about Wind Element, because we talked about it a little bit when we went to Wutai, but then I got distracted on other stuff. So, the Wind Element in this game was very dummied out. It seems like they wanted to have an air materia at some point, but there's no traces of it at all. It just seems like they didn't get to it. But wind is still a prevalent element in the game. There's enemies that use wind attacks, like Raps, using Arrow 3. And the fact that Arrow 3 exists makes you think that there should have been an Arrow 1 and 2 at some point. But what's really strange about wind, not only is there no main green materia for wind, but the only dedicated wind attack in the entire game is Tornado. That's it. Arrow 3 exists, but we can't use it. So, Tornado is the only wind attack. You can also get wind if you put Chocomog or Typhoon in your weapon with elemental materia. Then you can get a wind element attack. But in terms of magic attacks, that's it. Just Tornado. And in fact, Chocomog and Typhoon are both not wind element attacks either. Chocomog is no element, I believe, and Typhoon is a quadra elemental. It's like fire, ice, lightning, earth, or something. I don't remember. But yeah, Typhoon is 4 elements, and Chocomog is no element. And so, but the materia is wind, so if you put it on elemental, you can get a wind attack. But in terms of just using an attack that's wind, Tornado is the only one. So it's a very underutilized element, and there's a lot of enemies that are weak against wind in the game. So, very strange. It just seems like they never got to it, like it just got really dummied out. And they never got to make too much wind stuff. I think that was it. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I do have a few other things to talk about, but we'll get to them when we get to them. There's 2 things in Junon I want to look at, one of which I'm not even sure if it's real or not. Okay, so... yeah, Holy is another one that's not used much. But, there's not that many enemies weak against Holy, so it's not a big deal. But there's a lot of, everything that's flying in the game is weak against wind. Almost every flying enemy is weak against wind, but there's barely any way to get wind. I don't think there's anything we want to do. I think we want to just go do the thing, right? Go to Bone Village. I don't know if there's anything else we can go do now. David, with the extra content 7 Remake is putting in, do you think they will add Cobalt 14 Indigo 15? That would be cool. I would love to see more stuff that they wanted to put in but couldn't. They already have done a few things like that in the remake, so I wouldn't be surprised. Plus, you know, Red 13, he really just has Cosmo Canyon and that's it. So depending on how much they do with Cosmo Canyon, they might need more content for Red 13. Nope, there's no wind-based enemy skill. The only one that sounds like it would be White Wind, but obviously that's healing. Nope, Chocomog does non-elemental damage. It does non-elemental damage, and it also casts Stop. And the element, the materia itself has Stop element, so if you put added effect on it, it can cause Stop. A lot of people think, including myself, that Chocomog does paralysis, but actually does Stop. Which is why it's really strong, because Stop lasts longer. How do you think progress will carry over? I have no idea. Still no clue how they're going to do it. I don't remember if Ultima Weapon is weak against wind. Potentially. Also, I don't know if anyone ever, like, specifically uses this little island here, but I always remember that this little boot island is where you can fight the 9,999 plus HP enemy. Whenever I need to get the nuts that he drops, I always go to this little boot island. And I always remember it's there because it looks like a boot. It's like Italy. Let's go in Zycros. Yeah, you guys are going to have to help me out with the Chocobo stuff when we get there, because I don't remember any of it. I remember the Carob nut, and I remember the Zeo nut, and that's it. I don't remember, like, anything else. And I think I remember where to get the excellent Chocobos. That's it. I remember a ton about all that stuff. I rarely do it. I usually just get the Ruby Weapon Chocobo. Alright, Bone Village. So, let's talk about Bone Village. You know, actually, if you want, I always like using this, this Bone Village picture. This is the picture I always use when I dig in Bone Village. Shoutouts to Terrence and Absolute Steve. I believe they made this. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. I knew there was something I was missing. The new chat. We got a new chat set up. And I think it looks a lot nicer and a lot smoother. Shoutouts to Mavic and Kurt for helping with that. Okay. So, here's the Bone Village picture. I'm going to make it really big because it's kind of hard to read. So, the way Bone Village works is kind of weird. So, the good treasure versus normal treasure actually changes the, like, which spots you can find stuff. But actually placing the workers doesn't do anything. Placing the workers just helps you find where it is. But if you already know where it is, you can just go grab it. The only, like, really important things are the key to Sector 5, which has 3 different locations you can find it. And then Bahamut Zero, which Bahamut Zero is located right next to the guy that you talked to. And it's a 3.9% chance. And there's some specific requirements. You have to not get Bahamut Zero. You have to be on Disc 3. You have to already have the Mega Elixir. And also, Dynamics was talking a bit about, like, if you miss a specific huge materia, you can't get Bahamut Zero, even if you don't grab him. It's kind of strange how it works. But if you don't get Bahamut Zero from the huge materia quest, you can dig him up here. It's a 4% chance. It's really annoying. I did it before for the materia guide video, because I wanted to record me getting it, and it took forever. It's really annoying. So, first of all, this guy sells rune armlets, which I want one. And he also sells diamond bangles. And Might take one. See, the thing is, we're about to get all the best armor in the game, so yikes. I'll just get one. I already have a dragon armlet too, so... Does nobody have fire? You guys want me to get the mop? I actually want... Someone said they wanted to see more Vincent. I'm not really interested in using Vincent. I want to use Red 13 because he's my favorite character from back in the day, and I wanted to shout out to him. And I need to use Yuffie for a specific secret thing later. But let's bring in Vincent for a second because I want to show off the silver rifle. This weapon is hilarious. I think a lot of people know that the silver rifle is the joke weapon of his, but I don't know if a lot of people have actually taken the chance to look at it. It's hilarious. His joke weapon is a squirt gun, and it really, really looks like a squirt gun. Hey, check him out. Look at it, look at it. It looks like a little laser beam. Little squirt gun laser beam. You know how goofy it looks. It's so silly looking. It's a little Nerf gun. Yeah, let's steal a nut while we're at it. The mop is his silly weapon. But they are good. Like, the silly weapons are good. They just all have funny models. Most of the silly weapons are pretty common. Most people find them. The only one that's kind of out there is the umbrella. Which is Aerith's. Yeah, I still find it funny, like, the name also. Like, Silver Rifle sounds like a serious weapon. Then you equip it and it's a squirt gun. Also, Yuffie has a bunch of weird weapons, but, I don't even remember which one is officially her joke weapon. Is it the... It's not the Super Ball. Super Ball's actually good. Or maybe it is. It is the Super Ball, okay. The joke weapon is always the one that has no materia slots. And it just has a bunch of power and that's it. How's it going to Luthien? Yeah, but she has a bunch of weird ones. She has like an origami crane. She has a pinwheel. Oh, cool, we got a carob nut for later. Okay, you said you want me to get the mop? I don't even remember where the mop is. I never get it. The mop is on 4, and you need good treasure. Also, this is the same spot where you can get the W item materia if you miss it. Thank you for the 100 bits, Forrest. So the way this works is you place a dude, and then when you set the bomb off, it doesn't actually matter where you set the bomb off, you can set it anywhere. the dudes will point to where the treasure is. So they're pointing up there at something else. But I'm gonna dig here, try to get the mop. There it is. The mop is 100%, so as long as you're standing in the right spot, you get it every time. Same with the Lunar Harp, but you do need to pick Lunar Harp. So like I said, you don't need to place people, they just help you find it. If you know where it is, you can grab it. The Lunar Harp is right around here. Let me actually look. It's like here. I always get confused. I always go here, because there's another spot here. But this is the key. The key's over there. The Lunar Harp's more to the left. Cloud has no face. I'm scared. And that's about it. Does the mop come with a bucket? You have counterattack on, right? Yeah, like I said, Harp is a 100% chance you see the right spot. You'll always get it. Again, now we get to talk about Kajata. So Kajata materia floats around in this area. And I talked about this before, but if you have max materia when you pick up Kajata, you lose it forever. They forgot to put in a check. Normally when you pick up materia, the game does a check to see if you have full materia, and if you do, it says like, well now, throw away a materia first. But they forgot to put that check with Kajata, so if you pick it up, it doesn't check whether you have full materia, it just tries to add it to your inventory. And if it fails to add it to your inventory, then it just disappears. And it never comes back. And I want to talk about this real quick. You see that vine over there? See this vine? It's theorized that this used to be climbable, or it was supposed to be climbable at some point. And there's a cave, there's like a pretty obvious cave at the top too. So, it's thought that there was supposed to be like a dungeon up there, but it never got used. Some mods add a dungeon up there. Love that sound effect. When you pick up Kajata, yeah. It's a cool one. Yeah, I think, in fact, that area up there is walkable, like, even in the regular game. Yeah, you can see, like, there's a bit of a cave. Let me see if I can really quickly, okay. 650, remember that number, 650. Yeah, so if you look, let's open up the walk mesh here. Yeah. So, let me plop this up real quick. Shout out to Acrophes, favorite regular enemy model. Love it. I think my favorite enemy model is the water heaters. Pure Mind, thank you for the 27 months, my man. Appreciate you so much. So let's jump over here for just a second. So this is the field here. I don't know if I can make this bigger or not. Yes, I can. So you see how there's like a cave right here? Pretty obviously a cave, right? Like, pretty obviously something there. This right here is walkable, even in the vanilla game. If I open up the walk mesh, you can see this is it right here. So that's actually walkable, and the vine would be right here, but it's turned off. But yeah, so there's 100% they were wanting to put like a something there. Secret Jade Weapon Super Boss. Craig's Cave. And this is another instance of the game giving you something specifically really good for the upcoming boss. This is the Water Ring, which makes the next boss fight impossible to lose if you equip it. So that's like I said before, things like that were the motivation for me to make the scavenger mod, because there's so many instances where the game likes to give you stuff that's specifically good against the boss right next to it. This one being probably the best example because it just makes the boss completely free. Yeah, they should have like let you climb that and just had like a chest up there or something instead of dummying it out. But obviously they had like big plans for that. Also, we got Howling Moon, nice. Really underrated limit, Howling Moon. I read a comment about Howling Moon and how early, if you get a Howling Moon really early in the game, and you combine it with Aerith's Fury Brand, you can cast Howling Moon and then Earthrave to get the boost of power from Howling Moon into Earthrave, and it does like 7 bajillion damage. Which I had never tried before. So that's really cool. Oh, you need Berserk Protection also, yeah. Which you get with the Peace Ring pretty early on. Yeah, they had mentioned the Peace Ring also. Yeah, I think you could technically do it without the Peace Ring, but it'd be hard. You'd have to be perfectly timed. Yo, Rin! Thank you so much for the 4 months! Also, one of our favorite memes, you can land the High Wind here. A lot of people don't know that. And every time I do, people go, oh my god! I guess we'll see that later. See that in action later. Time to go get one of the best armors in the game. Yeah, we have we got the keyboard here as our special guest, because this is the first song I ever learned on keyboard or piano. What's the most underutilized weapon? Wait, did they say weapon or equipment? Underutilized weapon. Probably whatever weapon comes right after the... Red 13's weapon. I'm blanking. Seraph Cone. Whatever comes right after the Seraph Cone. Probably like the Plus Beret. Or the diamond pin. Whichever one comes right after. I'll equip that, said no one ever. And boom. Aurora Armlet. Big Stronk. This thing is nuts. It just, wow. Unfortunately, magic defense does nothing in this version, so it's a bit weaker, but still. Completely blows every other armor out of the water. The Gigas Armlet's supposed to give you a lot of defense, but no magic defense, and the Aura Armlet gives you more of both. It's crazy, crazy good. What I find weird is the Aurora Armlet is, like, slightly better than the other elemental armlets, too. I think it's better, like, has better stats than the Fire Armlet. Fire Armlet's a bit more useful, though, because you run into fire more often. I don't remember what the trigger is for this. There's a trigger you have to hit before you're allowed to sleep. I think you have to visit the lake, I think. I think you just have to visit the lake. Oh, can you? Let's see. Also, I love this, like, the visual of this area. It's so good. There's... I want to say there's something special about this chest, but I don't remember what it is. There's like a glitch you can do with that chest, maybe? Can't remember. Look, there's a bed. Yeah, hidden E-skill behind the bed's really easy to miss. Feel it. What's wrong? You sick? Eris is here, and so is Sephiroth. What? Sephiroth's here too? Well, why? How can you tell that kind of stuff? It's not an excuse. I feel it in my soul. What should we do? We must hurry to her. Right, let's hurry and find Eris. Pretty well hidden. It doesn't, like... It shines, but it's hard to see. And it's pretty relevant because we're about to get Aqualung, but we already have it. Also, really strange. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know why, but there's no fade out there. You ever notice that? When you leave that house, when it's dark, there's no fade out. It just... Whoop. It's only that screen. In fact, it might be all these screens when it's dark. Yeah. Eris's voice coming from there. Let's go ahead and equip this. If you don't go, she doesn't die. Oh, did I miss the, I think I missed the chest. Over here. There's a chest, upstairs here. I forget if I got it. Comet we can get on our way down. I meant to do I meant to do more research on this before we started today, but I forgot. I wanted to do a bit more research into this scene coming up and why Coca-Cola owns it. From what I've gathered, Coca-Cola did some advertisement for Final Fantasy back in the day. So, like, they helped Square advertise the game. And they used this specific scene, which is a weird one to use, by the way. And, that's why they, like, have rights to it. But it's weird. I don't understand why Coke would have, like, rights to it if they just used it in an advertisement. But anyways, that's why, that's why they own it. And if you upload this to YouTube, you get content grab ID'd from Coca-Cola. Pretty good. It might also just be that YouTube's awful, yeah, but whatever the case. Yeah, Coca-Cola will content ID grab your video if you use this scene. Also, I always loved this. What a weird, like, picture this is. Isn't this wild? You only see it for like a second. But it looks like a little miniature city. And it's like encased in a... It almost looks like a sundial or something, like just a big circular... How do you even build something like that? I would love to see this area expanded upon in the remake. Like, actually have to travel through this city of the ancients instead of just doing the temple. I want to travel through the city, too. Not the upstairs city, but the actual city. Might as well. Eris. Yeah, some of the colors are changed so that it's easily readable on the black background. Also, I found a trick for going up those stupid things, because whenever I try to go, like, jump up those, I end up jumping backwards several times. If you just hit X and left every time, you always get it. If you try to, like, press the D-pad in the direction of the next jump, sometimes you'll jump backwards. But if you just hold left, you'll make the whole thing. Yeah, I'm not going to force all the reactions. Vincent's model is broken in this, though. Is it in this version? I don't know. I want to say it was only the original PC version that Vincent's model was broken. I think it was fixed in this version. But I think in the original PC version, if you have Vincent in your party during the scene after Genova, his model's broken and his leg is like up in the air. It's really weird. Also, you can do this funny... this funny maneuver. Cloud, stop! It's weird that Red 13 says Cloud, because I think in the Steam version, doesn't he say, like, cut that out or something? We always make fun of it. So it's like, cut that out, Cloud. Oh, what are you making me do? So I talked about this in my Glitches and Oddities video, more in depth, but this scene has like a bunch of irregularities in it. Like the floor changes pattern constantly. It's like a checkerboard there, but then it's not a checkerboard later. Sephiroth has gloves, and then he doesn't have gloves. Like, no gloves there, and then suddenly he has gloves. It's a bunch of weird stuff. See, now he has gloves. Now it's not a checkerboard floor anymore. I always loved the light effect there. Yeah, sorry, the alerts are paused, so you can't do a It's Sephiroth. Remember when we did the randomizer and the scene was really weird? Eris! This can't be real! I always love that line. Do not worry, soon the girl will become part of the planet's energy. All that is left is to go north. The promised land waits for me over the snowy fields. There I will become a new— Shut up! The cycle of nature and your stupid plan don't mean a thing. Eris is gone. Eris will no longer talk, no longer laugh, cry, or get angry. What about us? What are we supposed to do? What about my pain? My fingers are tingling, my mouth is dry, my eyes are burning. What are you saying? Are you trying to tell me you have feelings too? Of course! Who do you think I am? Ah ha ha, stop acting as if you were sad. There's no need to act as though you're angry either. Because, Cloud, you are. A leg. Yeah, it's just a flesh wound, don't worry. So I've talked about it a lot over the years, but this is one of my favorite, like, just small things. I love that the Aerith music keeps playing here. It's such a great little nod. Like, the first time you play the game, and even now, it still gives you this feeling of, like, is she gonna make it through the fight? You do this whole fight wondering if she's gonna survive, and it's just so good. Hardest fight in the game because you can't see the boss through the tears, yeah. Real. That is real. She put up Reflect, so now I'm just kind of chilling. Does question marks work through Reflect? I don't know. I was gonna say, where's my aqua lung? Stop with the stupid Cloud drowns Aerith theory. It's the worst theory. I was How's it going, Avatar? Good to see you, man. Couldn't Eris just pray somewhere else? No. She needed to pray in the city, but also she needs to die. So, she knew what she was doing. Because you are a puppet. I'm a puppet? So every character has a different reaction here. Kate Sith's being the stupidest. Red 13 gives us a nice little doggo howl. Yeah, because... Oh my god, I even realized because was spelled wrong. Yikes. It's only like the most important scene. Make sure you get that spelling right. I always thought that this part was like Yuffie crying and Cloud's like, get off me, but he actually does kind of embrace her, so I guess he was trying to make her feel better. Yeah, Yuffie is probably one of the saddest ones. It's kind of hard to watch. Tifa's is pretty good too. I think Yuffie's is the longest. Hers are Kate Sith's. Tifa's is pretty similar, but she doesn't, like, cry like a baby. So yeah, what's Cloud standing on here? The power of the ancients, obviously. The lake is like not super shallow, but then deep somehow afterwards. Everyone, listen to me. I'm Cloud, ex-soldier, born in Nibelheim. I came to settle up with Sephiroth. Why now? I came here by my own free will, or so I thought. However, to tell the truth, I'm afraid of myself. There's a part of me that I don't understand. That part of me made... That part that made me give the black materia to Sephiroth. If you hadn't stopped me, Eris might have been... There's something inside of me, a person who is not really me. Eris might have what, died? She did die. That's why I should quit this journey, before I do something terrible. But I am going. He destroyed my hometown 5 years ago, killed Eris, and is now trying to destroy the planet. I'll never forgive. Sephiroth. I must go on. I have a favor to ask of you. Will you all come with me? This is awkward with these two characters, because these are the two characters that are like, sure, I'll come. We need like Tifa or Barrett here. To save me from doing something terrible. Alright, Cloud. I don't know how Eris tried to save the planet from the meteor, and I guess now we'll never know. But we still have a chance. We must get that black materia back before Sephiroth uses it. Let's go. Think of the 100 bits green. And think of the 1,000 bits CJ. Alright, disc 2 official. We made it. And Void, think of the bits as well. Thank you very much. And J-Poc, think of the 14 months. I think that's everyone. Mantic with the 10 months. Did I count that? And Rin with the 4. Thank you so much, guys. Alright. It's been a very long time since I've done this. I have to go physically put in disc 2. And we get the cool Vincent picture. If you press circle and you don't put in the right disc, it like pretends it's loading and then it's like, no. Disc 2, I said. Thank you for the bits, Quicksilver. Uh-oh. That is disc 2. Disc 2. Here we go. Load it up. Load it up. Load it up. Oh my god. Here we go. Disc 2. Let's try this. Yeah, I was gonna say this this disc 2 screen is very fickle. It always has been. Sometimes it just doesn't want to do it. Luckily, they let you save. It was a very smart thing for them to do because this happens very often. Hey, we in there. Which way did that Sephiroth guy go? Ugh. You alright? Sephiroth said to me, head north past the snowfields. He said snowy fields, actually. So yeah, one of the, oh, I like this screen, by the way. You never have to go here, but it's a cool screen. Because Buganagan does this for you, so you don't have to actually go here, but it's just a cool angle. It's neat. So one of the like biggest memes, or just things that people like to talk about, is how Aerith like could have totally survived if she didn't sit in that one spot. But Aerith needs to die. She knows she needs to die. There's a very big connection between this game's story and like the Christian story of Jesus. It's not to the point where like it actually follows like Christian ideals or anything, but there's a very big connection between like Aerith sacrificing herself for the good of the people and needing to be in the live stream in order to save everyone else, and there's like a big connection there. And there's a bunch of other reasons why Aerith needs to die there in order for the story to make sense, in order for Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith's whole like love triangle thing to make sense, and for like just the general world building to make sense. Which is why when people ask me like, do you think Aerith will die in the remake, like, that's the only... I'm okay with them changing stuff, but me personally, I actually would be pretty let down if they let Aerith survive in the remake, because I just think it's so important to the story. There's so many, you know, things that all combine into Aerith dying here that just a lot of stuff makes no sense if she doesn't die. Like I said, between, like, Cloud's love triangle and him starting to, like, fade away from the Zack persona now, and then like her being in the life stream in order to control the life stream is important. Her being the last of her race and dying to like save humanity, like all that stuff's super important to the story. So it'd be a shame if they change that in the remake, unless they change it in a way that makes sense. I didn't mean to do that. Plop, 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 plop. There we go. The squirrels. I know, it's so hard. It's so hard to like get this chest in one try. I always end up going up the thing. There's a really cool glitch in the PC version with Quake's animation where like it looks like code. It's really wild. It happened to us in one of our challenge playthroughs, I forget which. Yeah, there's two places that Square loves to grab from, mythology and Christianity. There's a lot of biblical names, a lot of biblical stories, a lot of biblical, like, metaphors or mentions. Just like there's a lot of mythological stuff with, like, the summons and stuff, and the monsters. Those are kind of the two big places that Square likes to grab from. And Star Wars. Yeah, to me, like, I don't know, this game, I think that, especially with, yeah, I like to grab from your wallet, too. I think this game has, especially with Aerith, a lot of biblical nods, but I think that kind of the pinnacle of Square using religious terminology and like religious you know, stuff in their games is Final Fantasy X. I think 10 is like the ultimate. They really like went full force with religion and the problems and like the good sides and bad sides of religion, and like you could tell that they wanted to kind of talk about religion, but they didn't want to bash any specific religion, so they made their own. But even in making their own, like there's a lot of like kind of stabs at religion in 10, as well as like some, you know, showing some benefits to religion and stuff. So like it's not all bad, but they definitely went full force with like the whole religious aspect in 10. This game, not so much. I think that Aerith's story is very, very connected to like Jesus' story, but in terms of the overall story, it's a lot more about like the planet and big business with Shinra and like a lot of other things are put into this game. I don't think it's necessarily like, it doesn't really harp on the religious stuff too much, but it's cool to see. There's so many great places that Square grabs its ideas from. It's never just one thing. I think that's why Square stories always feel so dynamic, because they pull from so many different sources. Now we got the Bold Armlet, the next really good armor. Let's see. Leviathan. I just kind of had him on to show him off. Where's Steel go?